is Keri TV, real estate agent in beautiful sunny Los Angeles. What will Americans give up in order to buy their first home? I've got the inside scoop today. Also, while you're here, don't forget to like and subscribe so you're updated every week on new information as it hits the press. Okay, so Americans are actually willing to give something up in order to buy their first home. That is crazy. So, back to our topic. What are young Americans doing to become part of the American dream? In a recent Cinch Home Services article, most Americans are willing to make sacrifices to their lifestyle in order to achieve homeownership. Okay, wow, so what does that mean? This article breaks down exactly what Americans are willing to do to buy a home, and it's fascinating. 85% of respondents who are willing to make some sacrifices in order to own a home said alcohol or vacations would be their first choice. I don't think I'd be alive without those two things, but others say they're willing to give up having kids in order to have their dream home. Now, mind you, this is give up for a year. So people are willing to delay these things to get into a first-time home. About 60% of recent survey respondents said they'd prefer their dream home over 40% who said they'd prefer kids first. That is wild. Maybe it'll help with overpopulation a bit. Yet to see. The youngest adults in the housing market, coined Gen Z, feel the strongest about one day becoming a homeowner. It's crazy because the millennials went through a period where they were over it. Nearly 84% recently surveyed said that owning a home is a major component of achieving the American dream. Ding! Some of the lowest items that Americans are not willing to give up are their pet, right? Go figure. Their smartphones, carbs, and their relationships. Crazy. So let's bring up that survey so you can see exactly how the numbers add up. Okay, so you can see here from the top to the bottom, like I said, drinking alcohol, vacations, clothing, buying new clothes was one, dining out, cryptocurrency investments, online shopping, having kids, part of your salary, having sex was on there. That's way too high up on the scale. Then you get down below, as I mentioned, sugar, phone, I forgot 3 hours of sleep at night, seeing family, your pet. The lowest one on there, actually some 3% of people said I'm willing to give up none of these. I think I would be in that category too. But overall, 85% of people said that they would be willing to make a lifestyle sacrifice to buy a home. I love that. Dave Ramsey would love that. Kudos to them. People are making sacrifices to get into their home, and you do need to. The Cinch survey also compared the three generations of Gen X, Gen Z, and Millennials, Gen Z being the oldest, Millennials, and then Gen X, to see the differences on what each generation would give up to buy their first home. In general, you can see that this graph that we'll pull up is mostly the same across the three generations for the most part, but it's also interesting seeing how the different generations do vary. I'll point out a few of these here below. Okay, so you can see giving up vacations, Gen X and Millennials are around the same, but 61% for Gen Z. So Gen Z is less willing. Gen Z is more willing to give up their vacations than their older counterparts. Dining out was the complete opposite. There was 49% to 36%. Gen Z is a lot less likely to give up dining out than the 40-plus-year-olds. I can relate to that. Having kids, this one is a huge spread. Gen X said 21% are willing, Millennials 29, and a huge 36%. 36% of Gen Zs would give up having kids for a year to buy a home. That is wild. Gen Zs are more into their pet than Gen X's. Having sex is pretty equal across the board. Millennials seem to have dropped off on that one. I don't think that should be an option. There's no monetary value around it. But anyways, you can definitely see a difference in the lifestyle to people that are in their 40s versus their 20s based on what they're willing to give up. Also, our lifestyles are very different now, so I totally get that. So what would you sacrifice to get into your home? I'm very interested to know. Comment below and let me know. So that wraps up our episode today. These graphs are fascinating, and we will be back next week, of course, with much more information. Cheers!